I didn't think I was going to get a movie out of this.
Sorry, everybody just stay on it.
Which way, sir?
Hey, Albert, thank you. I'm sorry.
All right.
Yeah, you know what happened is, how bad is it? No.
You're telling us the guy can't drive, right?
People that are so mad about that. Hey, good job! That's no big deal. Hey, be careful.
Thank you.
I think we need to go watch it. How this goes.
Oh, he's over there, okay. This is, look at this, they got the bus, they're ready to,
Yeah,
they're ready to, yeah, but you know what, one bus, but you got 10,000 people out there.
I got a documentary movie out of this.
Yeah, this is unreal.
Yeah.
This is what this is. Wow, this is gonna get ugly, man.
Okay, this is Sindoni. I'm here. It's November 9th. It's crazy out here in Manhattan. There's been a lot of protesters rioting Trump's victory.
Yeah.
And I'm out here with your name, sir.
Vincent. My name is Vincent. I'm visiting from Norway in Europe.
Tell me what you know about last night.
Well, I went to Trump Tower around 5 p.m. We got in a bit early. The Secret Service was about to lock down the entire block around Trump Tower on 5th Avenue, actually. And, well, basically, I just told them I had an appointment at the bar and they let me through. We spent the entire evening at the bar with basically Trump campaign friends and family who were visiting and staying at the bar. We had New York fire marshals there who were stationed on duty. Obviously, everybody who works in this sort of public sector thing, like the fire brigade, police, military, everybody is voting Trump. So the mood and the atmosphere in the place was totally exhilarating. And yeah, that's basically what we did at Trump Tower.
So now you were here at 3 o'clock in the morning when the announcement was made that Trump was elected president?
Trump Tower shut down around 1 a.m. But we went over to the Hilton where Trump was giving the victory speech, and we stayed outside and we met journalists from CNN and from other media outlets, which is sort of basically, I think in the end they believed their own polls. So they ended up not thinking that Trump would actually be able to win. And we saw a sort of situation where once John Podesta was announcing that Hillary wasn't giving a speech that night, in my opinion, that's when she officially conceded the election. That's when you saw on the faces of the journalists that they just realized what had actually happened.
So right after that, the election was announced that Trump won. Where were you when that happened?
When that happened, we went to an Irish bar somewhere near Times Square, one of the very touristy places in a way. It was very obvious that the staff running the bar was not happy about the Trump victory, but the entire bar was filled with people in MAGA hats, the Make America Great Again, the typical red cap. And it was just a great mood in there, except for the staff, obviously, who weren't very happy about it. And that's just sort of when I sat at the bar and I looked up at the TV screens they had behind the bar. I think it was CNN or Fox or one of those channels I was on. And I just saw Donald Trump walking on stage and it said, Donald J. Trump, President-elect, and it said, Donald J. Trump wins election. Donald J. Trump is the next US president. I was just thinking, wow, I've been waiting for this for a year, and it just felt unreal to actually be there in reality when it happened.
So you came here to partake in this victory?
Yes, that's basically what I did.
Now you're from?
Norway. Yeah.
Come a long way.
Yeah, that's true.
Now let's fast forward. So after the bar, you left, you get some sleep.
Yeah, we went to Times Square briefly. I was gonna just see what's going on there, and basically around that time it was probably 5 a.m. I would say 4:30, 5 a.m. Only Trump supporters were left on the streets, nobody else, and Times Square was basically empty, so nothing really happened, and I just headed home.
Then today, tell me about your day today.
Well, today, I mean, obviously we had quite a lot to drink yesterday, so I got up late today. I'm currently staying with a friend who is a Hillary Clinton supporter, and but he's open to other opinions, to say it that way. And we went to a diner, just had a little bit of breakfast, basically exchanged some opinions about what happened last night. It was good. And then after that, I just walked around the city for a bit and ended up at Trump Tower again, because to be honest, it's quite a nice bar in there.
So when you arrived at Trump Towers on Fifth Avenue, what time did you arrive?
I'm not sure actually. I would say probably around 5 again. That seems to be the default time for me arriving at Trump
What
Tower.
was the atmosphere outside?
At the time, outside was mostly media outlets. So I saw some German media, I saw lots of American media, obviously, but international media setting up outside across the street on Fifth Avenue, filming Trump Tower, having it sort of as the backdrop of their reporting. I went inside. It was pretty quiet at the time. Secret Service just let everybody through who wanted to go to the bar. And then around 2 hours later, I would say, what time is it right now? It's about 10 right now. I would say at 7:30 we heard the first reports that there was a protest going on in the city. It was rumored to be Black Lives Matter, who was protesting the election of Donald Trump. When I first heard about it, it was said to be at Columbus Circle and about 30-40 people going on. And then we just kept hearing more news while we were sitting at the bar, basically, and people were saying, wow, the crowd is growing, there's like thousands of people on the street right now, and they're starting to lock down 6th Avenue. And that's while we were still sitting in the bar. So
now, this was Trump's bar in the main
Trump's
building.
Bar, Trump bar in Trump Tower.
So who were you with there at the bar? Friends?
I was there by myself, but I had met a couple of people at the bar. Yeah, it was just, I mean, all the people who support Trump are very friendly and open people, so it's very easy to just get into.
Do you recognize anybody who was there at the bar?
Yeah, I recognize one of the fire marshals who wasn't drinking. I have to highlight that because they are actually on duty there. And a couple of other, well, pro-Trump protesters and sort of regulars of the bar that I've met over the last week.
By the way, I believe I saw you at the bar as well.
What day was that?
Tonight. I was at the bar.
Right, of course.
Okay, so I just want to, for the viewers who'll be watching this on YouTube, I just want to let them know how we kind of met, because I was also there as part of that celebration. My recollection of it was about 8:30. I was told by some of the people that we were all with that there was thousands of people that were assimilated outside, all wanting to protest Trump's victory celebration, and that we might have a hard time getting out of the building.
Yeah, so that's around the time that basically, like I just told you, I was sort of planning to conclude the evening, maybe having one more drink, enjoying the luxurious, nice bathrooms in Trump Tower, and then leaving. But at the time it became clear that leaving through the front door of Trump Tower was not going to be possible anymore, because there was just an insanely huge crowd of people who were protesting Trump outside of the building. And what ended up happening is that while we were still at the bar, basically people from Secret Service suddenly came in and told us to just leave our drinks on the tables, and, well, I guess I can't say so much about the way we got out, but basically take a special path to get out of the building. And that's when we sort of got escorted out by NYPD and later on, which was a pretty exhilarating feeling too, to be honest. And I mean, once we were standing outside on the street, I guess you noticed this too. The sound of the protesters in the background was incredible. It was just like, it was louder than New York traffic, which, as you know, is not the quietest thing in the world, right?
I was one of the people who was told by the Secret Service as well to go out that exit that you went out, and I did walk to the corner, and I captured a little bit of the footage of what you're describing, the high volume of protest, the noise, which was highly electric and intensive, leaving the building. And I know that we all had to walk towards Madison Avenue to get away from the rioting crowds. So I want to thank you very much for sharing this with me. Anything else you want to tell me about your experience?
Well, I mean, I just want to say in general, I'm really happy that Donald Trump got elected. I think this is a great step also for the international community. I think it's about time we make America and large other parts of the world great again.
I want you, for the audience now, because this will be on YouTube, I want you to repeat your name legibly so we can hear it, and any other information that you want to share.
Yeah, my name's Vincent, and I just want to say hi to my mom, I suppose, because that's the typical thing to do.
Well, Vincent, I want to thank you very much. This is Stephen Sindoni here in the heart of Manhattan near Trump Towers, and we had our celebration interrupted, but we plan to continue this celebration and make America great again. So I thank you all for listening. And we got one more guy, Jonathan.
Hey, how's it going?
Jonathan, we just described the experience here with our friend here from Norway.
Yes.
And
Welcome,
it was
by the way.
very hectic, and I just want you to just share with the people your view about what you saw there leaving the Trump Towers.
Well, we were having a delightful evening, hanging out at the bar in the Trump Tower. Many of us Trump supporters were jubilant.
Everybody was a Trump.
Yeah, well, everyone who was there was a Trump supporter, right? And, you know, we were just having a nice, jubilant, quiet time amongst ourselves. And unbeknownst to us, while we were in there celebrating, a crowd began to form in front of Trump Tower in the upwards of 8,000 to 10,000 people. When we first went in, it was maybe less than 100 out front protesting. A few hours later, almost 10,000. And it was so dangerous for us to leave from where we came in that the Secret Service and the police department of New York City had to escort us out the side door.
I was with you, brother.
Safety.
I was with you, and
Yes.
I was also with our friend here from Norway. And it's a sad day to realize that America has spoken. The decision has now been made official.
Right, the die is cast, and you need to just respect our operation of government. You know, the sun's gonna rise tomorrow. Not everyone's gonna wake up happy with the outcome all the time, but that's what makes America great. And the great thing about America is that you get to do it again in 4 years. So, you know, the world doesn't end with this, but evidently there are people who are not willing to accept the outcome, and they're looking to create a fundamental change in this country through mobocracy instead of democracy. They disguise it as democracy, but it's nothing more than mobocracy. And that's not what America is about.
No,
And
we're
it's
better than that. We're better than
We're
that.
better than that. It's very disheartening. You know, I'm sad to see what's going on.
If you had advice for these people that are doing this out there protesting and trying to harm other people who have a different viewpoint, what would that message be to these people?
Well, you know, my message is you claim to be tolerant, right? The Democrats and liberals as a whole claim to be tolerant, and they're constantly imploring upon us to be tolerant, but yet whenever you turn around and you look at where the rioting starts, where the looting starts, where the mobs are forming, where the chanting is that say they're not going to take it anymore, it's always on that side. They can never accept when a conservative or a Republican wins an election, fair and square.
So do you think now that what we just experienced, because they made it personal, it was life-threatening as far as I'm concerned, would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, if I had to be escorted out the side of the building with the Secret Service and the police department of New York City, both very fine law enforcement agencies, by the way, and much respect to them. God bless each and every one of them. They do a fabulous job. But for us to have to be escorted out the side, now here's a gentleman from another country. Why should he have to come to America and visit our great city and face harm?
If you had a message for the American public, for all these people that are out here protesting, what would your message be to them?
My message would probably be that they should take a step back from what they think their current knowledge of the situation is, and they should just sort of, when it comes to Donald Trump in particular, go to the source material, go to the actual speeches he's given at media, fragments taken out of context, and really form your own opinion.
Right. You know, make it an educated opinion.
Yeah.
Don't just go by sound bites. And as far as these allegations against him, you know, we have what's called due process in this country. You know, things take time. You have to submit evidence, and you have to be given a trial by a jury of your peers. And then if you are found guilty, then you are punished. But until that day comes, people need to calm down and let the investigators do their job. Let the process work. It's the best system in the world. Is it a perfect system? No. I'm not going to stand here and pretend to tell you that it's the perfect system. But show me a better one.
There is none better.
There is none.
You're from Norway. What is your opinion about America?
Well, I would say it's actually the first time I'm visiting here, and for me, just the sheer scale of everything is overwhelming in a way. I mean, there's more people in the city than there are in the entire country that I live in. I need more time to process it, but I'm feeling very good about my vacation so far.
Good, good. So you're not afraid now?
No, I'm not feeling afraid. I mean, I know that there's people in here who are trying to harm others that have viewpoints that differ from their own, but I haven't yet really been in a situation where I didn't feel at least protected from those people, like just right now with the Secret Service taking care of it.
Well, I felt very good that we had that protection awarded to us to get us out of the building safely. I even had a cop fooling around with me, grabbed my crystal from my wrist and said, "I'm taking that."
Right.
I said, "Yeah, I've never had a cop rob me before."
And by the way, thank you, Mr. President-elect, for providing that service for us. Thank you.
Right, so Donald Trump, if you're listening to this, which I hope you are, we love you.